Hello, my name is Kimberly Rodriguez, and today I will be discussing how I would respond to the scenario as the leader of the Integrated Safety Response Team, or ISRT, within the Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services and Department of Mental Health co-located office in Commerce, California. In this scenario, Human Resources receives an anonymous voicemail at 2:53 a.m. stating that an employee, Carver Smith, plans to bring a weapon to work and potentially harm a supervisor. The caller reports that this information was observed on Carver Smith's social media page and further states that Carver recently stopped attending therapy and became angry during a final appointment. By the time the message is discovered, the office has already been open for several hours and approximately 121 employees are in the building. Given the information provided, I would treat this as a potentially credible threat until proven otherwise. Although the information is anonymous and unverified, it involves a possible weapon, a potential target, and alleged leakage through social media. These factors require an immediate response. The first step I would take would be activating the ISRT. As the Assistant Regional Administrator and Team Leader, I would immediately convene our core team members, including Human Resources, our licensed mental health clinician, child welfare representative, security personnel, law enforcement liaison, and legal consultant. Because our office serves children, family, foster parents, caregivers, and community members, in addition to employees, my safety concerns would extend beyond staff members alone. We must consider the safety of everyone entering the facility. I would immediately coordinate with security to determine whether Carver Smith is currently in the building, scheduled to report to work, or has recently accessed the facility. Security would be provided identifying information and instructed to secure monitoring at every entry point, meanwhile maintaining a calm and professional presence to avoid unnecessary panic. At the same time, I would begin documenting the incident using our ISRT case investigative and threat management rating form. Under Section A, I would document the anonymous hotline report and identify the concerns as a possible threat involving a weapon. Under Section B, I would document the social media allegations, identify the reported target category, and record any known factors like stressors or workplace conflict. At this stage, I would be particularly interested in gathering information related to threat indicators listed in our form, including direct or indirect threats, leakage behavior, grievances against the agency or supervisor, fixation on a target, weapon access, planning behavior, or any attack-related actions. Regarding Carver Smith, I would avoid making assumptions based solely on the mention of mental health treatment or the fact that he reportedly stopped attending therapy. One of the key principles discussed in our class is that threat assessment focuses on behavior rather than labels. Therefore, the fact that someone has attended therapy, discontinued treatment, or experienced emotional distress does not automatically indicate that there is a risk for violence. Instead, our team would focus on observable behaviors and evidence. Human Resources would review any recent disciplinary actions, grievances, workplace conflicts, performance issues, or concerning interactions. Supervisors and coworkers may be interviewed regarding behavioral changes, escalating anger, threatening comments, social withdrawal, or any recent stressors. The mental health clinician on our team would assist in evaluating risk factors while providing a trauma-informed perspective. Our goal would not be to diagnose Carver, but rather to determine whether there are indicators suggesting movement towards violence. Protecting the potential target is equally as important. Although the voicemail does not identify a specific supervisor, I would work with Human Resources and management to identify any supervisors who may have recently had conflict with Carver Smith. Once potential targets are identified, I would notify them of the concern and develop an immediate safety plan. Protective measures may include increasing security, presence, restricting access to certain areas, implementing escort procedures, modifying schedules, relocating workplaces if necessary, and ensuring supervisors know how to quickly access emergency assistance. Because the threat management is both investigative and preventative, the purpose is not simply to identify risks, but to reduce opportunities for violence while the investigation is ongoing. There are also important legal and ethical considerations in this case. Legally, our agency has a responsibility to provide a reasonably safe workplace while also respecting the rights of employees. Information sharing must occur on a need-to-know basis and remain consistent with confidentiality requirements, employment laws, and agency policies. Additionally, we must avoid discrimination based on mental health history. The fact that Carver attended therapy cannot be used as evidence that he is dangerous. Ethically, our team must remain objective and avoid bias. Threat assessment should be evidence-based and focused on behaviors, context, and circumstances rather than on stereotypes and assumptions. Our team's trauma-informed and culturally responsive framework would also guide decision-making. We would consider potential stressors, cultural factors, workplace dynamics, and individual circumstances while maintaining safety as our primary priority. Social media would also play a significant role in this investigation. According to our class readings, social media can provide a valuable information regarding threats, grievances, planning behaviors, leakage, and fixation. Evaluating written communication and online content as part of a broader threat assessment process is just as significant. Therefore, I would assign team members to immediately preserve any publicly available social media content. Screenshot and documentation would be collected because posts can be altered or deleted. The team would review whether Carver made direct threats, referenced weapons, expressed grievances towards supervisors, discussed revenge, or displayed behaviors indicated movement toward violence. However, social media information must always be interpreted within context. A single post may not accurately reflect intent, and statements might be sarcastic, exaggerated, or misunderstood. For that reason, social media findings would be corroborated and additional information gathered through interviews, workplace records, and other investigative sources would be needed. Social media would inform the assessment but would not serve as the sole basis for decision making. Based on the information available, I would likely consider this concern at least a moderate to high risk situation until additional investigation is completed. The presence of a named individual, a potential target, a possible weapon, and reported social media leakage warrants immediate intervention and continued monitoring. In conclusion, my response would focus on 3 priorities: ensuring immediate safety, conducting a structured multidisciplinary threat assessment, and implementing appropriate threat management strategies. By utilizing the ISRT model, our team can gather information from multiple perspectives, assess risk systematically, protect potential targets, and intervene early before violence occurs. Ultimately, our goal is to maintain a safe environment for employees, children, families, and community members while treating all individuals with fairness, dignity, and respect. Thank you.